the chairman of the South Carolina House of Representatives Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Environmental Affairs Committee, lives in Conway, and he's on Carolina People this morning. Meet him, coming up next. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Sassy Girl in the Blackwater Market on 4th Avenue in historic downtown Conway. We're focused on the South Carolina House of Representatives Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Environmental Affairs Committee. And we're visiting with its chairman, the Representative Billy Witherspoon. Good morning, Chairman Witherspoon.
I'm glad to be with you this morning.
Thank you so much for coming in early on a Friday morning. Do you mind if I call you Billy?
That'll be fine.
Since we're right after Christmas and obviously celebrating here.
All of us need to go on a diet, don't we?
I started already. You're wearing black. There's a reason why, I guess. Yeah. I hope you all had a great Christmas.
Great Christmas. All 8 grandchildren were here.
Is that
we had
right?
16 folks, and we just get us a big house, and we did get a big house, and let's go to the beach.
That is fantastic. And this is a holiday tradition.
We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
See, when you think about all of them coming to your house, and you got 16 people, and you got at least 16 baths a day, and all the electricity, all water, so we just go to the beach.
That's great thinking. Yeah. The wonderful thing is we live in an area where we can rent a beach house and get down there, and someone else can clean up a little bit after us. How about this Sassy Girl? Have you been in this Blackwater Market? It's amazing.
This is a wonderful place.
It really is.
People ought to come in and look around and shop a little bit.
Right
It's really nice.
Right here on the corner of 4th and Laurel. Real easy to find, and obviously a Main Street right next door. I mean, it's a perfect place to go.
And it's so clean and neat around here.
It is.
Somebody did a lot of thinking to put this together.
They really did. The whole thing is beautiful. They've really done it up right. You know Horry County pretty dang well, don't you?
Been here about, I guess, 35, 40 years now. So.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you a native of the Palmetto State?
Yes, I'm a resident from a little place called Timmonsville.
Oh, good, in Florence County. Of course. I used to have a studio in Timmonsville that I bought from Ed Young.
Yeah, Ed home's not close to mine. We're about 3 miles apart. Matter of fact, I used to have milk cows years and years ago when he was in the dairy business. Yeah.
Son of a gun.
You know, he was congressman at one time.
Of course, 72 to 74, and lost that, I think, to John Jenrette.
Yeah.
Back in 74. That was a big district at that time.
Yes, it
the
was.
6th district, I believe, was a humongous district.
And Ed's a great guy.
He is.
He's a great guy.
He's a sweet...
I see him a couple of times a year.
Well, you ought to stop by. Now, of course, you'll be leaving in a couple of weeks to head back up to Columbia, so you'll be passing by him.
By January the 9th.
Okay, Tuesday the 9th.
That's all, Tuesday,
This is for folks who don't understand, I guess, how the House of Representatives work over the Senate. Y'all are there at the same time.
Yeah, we're there at the same time.
Okay.
We don't always come in the same time of day, but we're there 3 days a week. House usually goes in session on Tuesday. We'll go in session at 12 o'clock. And the first 2 weeks, we won't be in session about maybe an hour. And then we go to have our committee meetings.
Right.
And particularly, this will be the 2nd year of this session. And a lot of folks, a lot of House members have already pre-filed bills.
Okay.
And so I have opportunity to look at those bills before we get there. And then some of them have already been assigned to committees.
Right.
And then we'll start meeting probably on the 9th. There'll be some committee meetings most likely.
When you say pre-file bills, it's as simple as just what you said. I mean, folks are pre-filing, so you all have a chance to look at them before things.
You know, that can be dangerous, though, Greg. A lot of times people will study those bills before we get up there and build up your opposition to them. So.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Our director had highlighted before we started this morning that you were one of 5 chairmen of House committees.
That's correct.
One of 5, which is a big deal for Horry County, obviously, to have you here as a native son.
Well, it's an agricultural committee. We deal with anything that pertains to agriculture, and then anything pertaining to environment. The speaker will assign it to our committee, and this deals with anything like wetlands. It deals with landfills, septic tanks, bridges like the Marsh Island bridges down in Charleston and Beaufort.
Right.
And these bills sometimes get very controversial.
Oh, I bet they do. Anything dealing with the environment.
And you'd be surprised when it comes to natural resources. I tell them we got a lot of Daniel Boones in the House because we bring some kind of bill up dealing with wildlife, Everybody's an expert in it.
Oh, I bet, of course, yeah.
You don't mess with a person's hunting and fishing.
And now y'all have a very dedicated, albeit I think it's a volunteer base. Aren't there some hunting and fishing or subcommittees or otherwise?
Yes, we have in my committee, we have an agricultural subcommittee, we have a natural resource subcommittee, and we get so many environmental issues. We have 2 environmental subcommittees. And when I get the bill, then I assign the bill to one of those subcommittees. And then they hold hearings. Most of those hearings are held in Columbia. Mm-hmm. They hold hearings, and we advertise it. We'll set those bills up like on a Wednesday or Thursday, and then we put it out to the media, and we send letters out. The people request to come hear or testify. They come in and testify, whether they for or against.
Oh yeah, sure. And they're vociferous either way, I'm sure.
But we have security to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand.
Not too wild, yeah. How did you become chairman of this committee? One that has such a broad scope on not only this area, but the entire state.
I've been on this committee since '93.
Okay.
And I get some new members coming in every 2 years, and the committee themselves, which are 18 people on that committee, they elect their chairman. And so they elected me to serve as their chairman, and I've been chairman 5 years now.
Wow.
And so I got an odd year because the person was in there previously. He resigned from the committee because he was running for constitutional office, so I took over a little bit early. And I guess they must like me because they keep reelecting me.
Keep reelecting you, that, which is wonderful. Particularly your brethren there in that position. Do you mind sharing with viewers the other 4 committees?
You got the Judiciary Committee,
right?
And Jim Harrison is chairman of that. You got Ways and Means Committee. Dan Cooper's chairman of that. You got LCI, which is Labor, Commerce, and Industry is what that is. And Harry Cato is chairman of that. Okay. And then you got 3M Committee. Right. And we got a chairman.
I don't want to imagine what that 3M stands for. Yeah.
That is municipalities, medical, and I forget what the other M stands for.
3M, there's probably not a person in Columbia knows what that stands for. And so, of course, the idea is that there's 5 chairmen, and you all are very and obviously interfacing with.
We meet at least once a week. We're in Columbia, and we discuss issues. Matter of fact, I've already had one meeting with them early in December.
Right.
So we can sit down and talk about what the big issues are going to be this coming year.
Now, do you actually have time to serve on other committees?
No. In the House, we only serve on one committee. Okay. In the Senate, you may serve on several committees.
To serve on several. We were with Senator Elliott and Tracy Edge and Representative Edge 3 or 4 months ago, filming in North Myrtle Beach. It was fascinating hearing about all the activities. The senators are pretty dang busy there, and I think there's a chance hearing Dick talk about that, if he is blessed to be reelected, that he could actually join, I believe, the
probably Finance Committee.
Exactly, which is very important.
That's the one that handles the money.
Right. We've heard about Senator Leatherman, of course, here in our viewing area, and the impact that's had on the PD, and obviously a lot going on. I think I also saw you're vice chairman of the Northeastern Strategic Alliance.
That's right. That's called NISA, which is short, and I'm the chairman of the board.
Okay.
And Yancey McGill is the chairman of the Executive Committee.
Right. Okay.
And, matter of fact, we just went to Japan a few weeks ago.
To Japan?
Yeah.
That's not part of South Carolina.
No, I'm afraid not.
You mean Asia? Yeah.
That's a 14-hour plane ride.
I think, how could you get? I couldn't even drive a car that far.
That's right. We went there to a meeting of NISA, which really is Japan and the southern states.
Right.
We meet 1 year in Japan, 1 year in the United States. Next year we'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, great. And, that's a little easier drive.
Yeah. I've asked some of those folks from Japan that we met with, Senator Leatherman went, and Senator McGill and myself and 2 of our staff members.
Right.
And I said, if you guys will come a little bit early, I'll make arrangements some golf down at Myrtle Beach, and they just lit up when I said golf, because they like to play golf.
Oh, yeah, when you said Myrtle Beach, sure.
You know what one round of golf costs in Japan? Just $300.
Oh, come on. Per person?
Per person. 18
You are
holes.
kidding.
That's what the guys tell me. We met with Yamaha, I can name a few of them, Yamaha, Honda, and several of these guys. I met with the CEOs and the president. And what we're trying to do is get them to come invest their money here.
Of course, yeah.
And Hitachi, that was another we met with. And
now, when you're there, are they also trying to say, no, you come to us?
Well, they'll be here next year in Raleigh, and then they'll try to get us to invest in Japan, which we have done. We met with Bridgestone Firestone.
Sure.
And they have a little operation, in Kingstree.
Oh, okay, yeah. They also have a bigger operation in the upstate.
That's right. So it's most of this is developed on friendship, is what happens. And I hope there'll be some announcements made sometime in the next 8 or 12 months here in South Carolina.
Of course, Honda has a very big presence in your hometown.
In Tillmansville.
In Tillmansville,
yes.
yeah.
I've toured that operation. It's fantastic.
It is. It is. We've interviewed their GM a number of times over the few years up there. He was very dedicated with the Boy Scouts. Mike Helton, I'm not sure if he's still there, but a real dedicated crew up there, and they really have made a difference in the PD.
I believe one comes off the line about every, I want to say 14 or 15 seconds. But
oh, come on. Is it that tight?
It's something. They also got jet skis there too now.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. We want to get in on that. That's where traveling back in Townsville.
I got a little club called Rum Rum Club. That's retired old men riding on motorcycles. And we toured the Honda plant. There was about 20 of us that toured it, and they were very gracious to us.
Well, you know, a lot of guys, of course, none of y'all are retired, but David Harwell, we think about Jim Exum, the former Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court, and other folks who really turned to motorcycles as a vehicle.
The Justice used to ride with me, Harwell.
Right.
But I think he sold his motorcycle.
Oh, come on. Debbie wouldn't let him do that. I don't believe it. Don't say that. These are secrets on a Friday morning. Well, what actually got you interested in agriculture? Was it at an early age or later in life?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm, small farm in Florence County, and I was very active in 4-H club work.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And that's how I become interested in it. And my dad wasn't able to expand very much, so I said, well, this is the next thing to it. So when I graduated from Clemson University, I went to work with Clemson Extension Service. And Extension Service is a part of the university. You got the teaching staff, you got research, and then you got extension.
And it's spread in every county or all over
every county in the state, and it's always handled through the land grant university.
Okay.
And see, NC State has one in every county.
Okay.
Georgia, all the states do. And it's changed a lot over the years, like everything else has, and that's how I've become interested. So I retired in '90 after 34 years.
34 years with
enjoyed every day of it.
And it was you were just the person for Horry, or did you travel to PD, or
no,
how was it?
I started out in York County.
Okay.
And then I moved from York. I wanted to get sand in my toes, so I moved to Dillon County.
Right. That was a
little closer. And this position came open down here. They moved me down here in Horry County. Come in '69.
In '69. So you've been here, as you said, almost 40 years. That's amazing. Well, the county, you think about some of the changes in the county prior to you making a decision. What was it that got you to commit that after retiring from Clemson, from the extension, that you would actually, what was it that prompted you?
A lot of it is somewhat similar working with people. I felt like that in extension service, I work with folks every day trying to help them, and in politics is similar to that, working with people. And I got a big rural area too.
Oh, yeah.
A big rural area.